Hey guys, welcome to some homework help for the 40. This is 44B. Okay, so I'm not going to give you all the answers. I'm just going to kind of go through and explain how to do some of the problems if you get stuck. Okay, this is a study guide and homework packet to get you ready for the Open Notes assessment next class. So the first starts out with multiple choice questions. So it says find an equation of variation when y varies directly with x and y is equal to 8 and x is 6. So remember, you're just going to start out and write the direct variation equation. And your whole goal to start out is to get your constant of proportionality. So if your y is 8 and your x is 6, I'm going to just set it up like that to line it up. If you divide, okay, you're going to get your k. Your k is equal to 4/3, okay, because 4/3 is simplified from 8 to 6. So you can go from there and try to figure out the direct variation equation. If you're looking at number 2, you've got a table. If x and y vary directly, what must be the value of a? So you could actually just look at your x and your y and see that if they vary directly, y is equal to k times x. You know your k is equal to y divided by x. And you can look at your values of y divided by x, and here it would be 2/6, which would be 1/3. Okay, here it would be 6/18, which would be equal to 1/3. Okay, so then you could just multiply the 5 times 3, and then you would get your value for a. Okay, 3, you're finding, again, y is varying directly with x, so you just plug it in, get your k. So the whole thing is the y equals kx. Y is 10, your x is 20. Okay, so find your k value, and then to write the equation is going to be y is equal to whatever you found, that k value times your x. Okay, that's how we write the equation of variation. All right. The word problems we did last class, okay, we vary directly. You read it carefully. The gas pressure in the chamber varies directly. So I might say my P is my pressure. Goes to your let statement. Get your inputs and your outputs. This would be your output because the gas pressure varies directly with the temperature. So I'm going to let T equal the temperature. Okay, and because it's varying directly, we think of y is equal to k times x. But now, instead of y and x, we're going to use the pressure is varying directly with the temperature. Use the values that you're given. Okay, the pressure is 150, so your P is 150, and the temperature is 50. And you just plug them in. 150 is equal to k times your 50. You solve for k, okay, just divide, right? And once you get your k value, you can write the equation. Then you can use that equation. So in this case, I'll do the first one here. You'll get k is equal to 3. So your equation that's plugged in here, p is equal to 3 times p. All right, and now you make your prediction. What's the pressure in the chamber when the temperature is 75? So is that going to 75 going to be your T or your P? And you figure it out and get your answer. Okay, make sure that you write the right units. Okay, so you're going to write the units after it. Okay, this one's going to vary directly. So the fertilizer is going to directly with the area. So maybe I would use let F equal to the fertilizer. And fertilizer, and A be the area. And since they vary directly, the fertilizer will vary directly with the area. You can set it up like that. Okay, get your K. So find K, plug it back in here, and then make your prediction for 1,250 square feet of lawn. Okay, so that's how the next word problem would work. This one's, again, varying directly word problem. Okay, so you've got your height, the ball bounces. Now be careful, don't use H for both. The first one is the ball bouncing, so maybe I'll use B for bounce. And then and it varies directly with the height that it's dropped, and DB dropped. Maybe that's easier. Okay, so the ball bounces 30 centimeters when it's dropped from a height of 50. So it's going to be a direct variation. So the bounce is going to be, say, the constant times how far dropped. Okay, we can go from there. Okay, y varies directly as x, and the constant of proportionality is 2. Which equation represents that? That should be super easy. Y is varying inversely. Just remember the constant of proportionality is just a word for your k. So what's your k value? Okay, so these should be easy enough for you. All right, number 9, find the equation of y when y varies inversely as x and y is equal to 5 and x is equal to negative 2. So inverse variation, okay, you're going to use those values of y is 5 and x is 2, or negative 2 rather. You're going to get your k, and once you solve for your k, you plug it back in here, and that will give you your answer. Okay, number 10, for all of these, solve for y. Once you get it into solving for y, you want to see which one's an inverse variation. Okay. 11, same thing. Always solve for y, and then you can detect if it's a direct variation. Okay. 12, the table shown. So when we've got tables, if x and y vary inversely, what must be the value of a? Okay. So if we look at an inverse variation, remember y is equal to k divided by x, which means your k, as a literal equation, is equal to x times y. So if I multiply all these, I get negative 24. So you can see the a value would just be what times negative 6 would be negative 24. Okay. 13, okay, is it a direct inverse neither or giraffe? Yes, you can figure it's not going to be a giraffe, okay? So looking at that, thinking about this here for inverse, thinking about y is equal to k times x, or if your k is actually equal to y divided by x, okay, and looking at those numbers, you can decide what type of variation it is. All right, 14, 15, 16, 17, they all kind of work the same. Y varying directly with x, so y equals k times x. Again, you just put in your numbers. Y is negative 2, and your x is 4. And you start out, and you get your constant, which is negative 2/4, which would be negative 1/2. And then you write your equation. So y is equal to negative 1/2 x. And then you find y when x is negative 8. So you're just putting in and doing it like this. Okay? And that's going to work for, sometimes they're inverse, sometimes they're direct. Y is equal to k divided by x. So pay close attention. Use the numbers that are given. Get your k. Once you get your k, then you plug it in the equation and make your prediction. Okay? All right, here's the practice section. Select 3 of these points that will create a relation that is a direct variation. Now remember again, direct variation, y is equal to k times x. That means your k is equal to y divided by x. So that means if you look at each one of these ordered pairs, then you take y and divide by x and get the same number. So in this case, 10 divided by 1 is 10. Here we have 7 divided by 3.5. Okay, I'm going to get 2. Okay, so do all of them, and then if you find out the 3, that when you divide y divided by x, those will be the relation that's a direct variation. Okay, 19, plot A lies on a line that represents a direct variation equation. This time we want to plot 3 other points. Now the warm-up we had, okay, actually doesn't matter. Let's see, point A is negative 3, 3, so negative 3, 1, 2, 3, 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so that's point A. All right, if it's a direct variation, you've got to know it will always go through the origin. Okay, so from here you can figure out the slope and then just figure out the other points that you can put on the line. Okay, so your slope is your rise over your run. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So the slope is 1. So it should be pretty easy to come up with some more points. And the last one. The chart shows how the cost per person to rent a vacation home varies with the number of people in the group. Okay, so looking at this relationship, what do you notice about the number of the group? The more people you have, what happens to the cost per person? So as the x increases, the y, as the x's go up, the y value goes down. Okay, so that would be what kind of relationship? Think about that. And then maybe cross off a couple of options, and then once you decide what it is, okay, is it direct or inverse, then you can come up with the equation, okay? Figure out your k, okay, based upon, you can take the number of people in the group and the cost per person, and you can come up with your k, whether it's direct or inverse, and then decide what you want. Okay, I hope this helped. Bye.